Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I'm joined with the man himself, Julian Goldie.
Hello there.
And today we have got a topic and we're going to be talking about why Google hates your website. We're going to give 5 reasons. I think the 5th one we're probably both going to agree on, but we'll see. But as you are the guest, what would be reason number 1 why your website might not be ranking high, or why Google might actually hate your website?
I think statistically comes down to a lack of backlinks quite often. So I think it's something like 95% of websites get no traffic from Google. And one of the biggest reasons is because of no backlinks. That was a case study by Ahrefs where they studied 1 billion sites and they found that was like the #1 cause in sites. So I still think people neglect it and struggle with link building and think, oh, if I do everything else, it'll be okay. But actually, typically, that's the #1 reason why I see so many sites not ranking and not getting traffic, even if their content is really good.
Yeah, definitely. So this is the stat. There's actually been 2 case studies on this. I don't know if you remember. Brian Dean also analysed 11.8 million he analysed 11.8 million Google search results, and he found out that 94% of which had 0 backlinks, so there was only 6%, and then 96.55% of content gets no traffic from Google, and that's probably because there's just no backlinks. One thing I would like to mention as well, that this was done in December, or it was last updated in December 1st, 2023. I wonder if that number's changed recently, because you've got the likes of Forbes, you've got the likes of Reddit, some monster websites that are taking a lot of the traffic. What's your thoughts on that?
So I'm not sure about this year, but if you look at the algorithm leaks, Google's algorithm leaks, most of the ranking factors are around backlinks. Like, there's tons of attributes in that algorithm leak that point directly to backlinks. And then also, if you look at this page, I remember seeing this case study probably about 5 or 6 years ago from Ahrefs. And back then it was 91% of sites are getting no traffic because of backlinks. And now it's gone up to 96%. So it seems like it's increasing over time.
Yeah. I swear, now I could be wrong, I swear I've seen that figure in the like the late 80s as well. So it does seem like there is an upward trajectory there. Reason number 2. So we'll do this. Like, you'll give one reason why your website might be hated by Google, and I'll give the second reason. Reason number 2 is topical authority. So one thing that I see commonly happen with business owners is the fact that they just have, for example, just a /services page, and they don't actually have a dedicated page talking about each service that they actually provide. Now, one thing that I always say to business owners is, if you don't have a page for it, but you actually provide it as a service, if, like, let's say you're a brick and mortar style company, you should be having that as an actual service page, because again, it can lead to more converted traffic, it can lead to more actual leads and inquiries for your business. But if you don't actually have that listed on your website, you should actually list it. And then another thing as well that I like to focus on when taking on SEO clients is how good of a blog section do they actually have on their website. So for example, again, if you do have all of your services, you might want to start working on some top of the funnel style articles. Like, for example, if you're a dental clinic, you might have 4 or 5 services, like how to keep your teeth straight, how to dental cleaning, and within that you should also have some blog articles like which dental cleaning services is the best for my dental health, for example. So you should try and to be covering the topic in its entirety. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, topical authority is really important. I mean, there's in the algorithm leaks as well. I know I keep referring back to them, but if you look at the attribute site focus score,
Yeah.
One of the most important attributes in the Google algorithm leaks is how focused you are on one particular topic, right? So if you've got more topic coverage and you're laser focused on that specific category, then it's going to make it much easier to rank everything on your site. Whereas if, for example, one day you're talking about dogs and then the next day you're talking about the Philippines, it's totally random, isn't it? But a lot of people do that. I remember seeing loads of comments on my YouTube saying like, can I start a general blog? Can I talk about business and health and whatever? And it's like, no, you
Yeah.
can't. You can
It's,
like once you get to Forbes level, but in the beginning days, if you want to get traffic fast, no.
Yeah, definitely. But one thing I'll do is I'll share my screen because I actually done a good video on this a couple days ago, and this is a dental clinic in Santa Ana, and this is like, don't get me wrong, they actually rank very well for dentists in Santa Ana. They're position 2 right after Yelp. If we are looking at Santa Ana Dental, and their map packs rank in position 1 as well. So like their SEO isn't terrible, but that's where it probably ends. So for example, yes, the homepage ranks very well, but if you actually search for any of these services, like for example teeth whitening in Santa Ana, they don't actually rank for it because all they've done is they've just got one /services page, and they don't actually have any dedicated pages talking about teeth whitening in Santa Ana, dental implants in Santa Ana. You need to be having an actual dedicated page for all of the services. So even if we were to actually just search Santa Ana here, you'll see that position number 3, so dentalorangecounty.com, that actually does rank position number 3 for teeth whitening Santa Ana. And all they've done is they've just created a dedicated page, actually like SEO optimized the page, and now they are ranking for teeth whitening Santa Ana. And we could probably go through a couple of these pages as well. So cosmetic dentistry Santa Ana. What we would probably find is the pages that are ranking for that is they actually have got a dedicated page or a dedicated service page. So for example, cosmetic dentistry in Santa Ana. So this is what I like to do when it comes to building out topical authority for actual businesses and stuff like that. And then obviously you do have the blog section as well. Let's just see what they actually have on the blogs. What, out of curiosity, while I'm pulling this up, Julian, what kind of blogs would you be publishing to a dental clinic website, just out of curiosity?
Yeah, so I'd be just targeting all the local keywords that would potentially generate clients in there, right? So like, for example, if you're a dentist, you might be selling like Invisalign Santa Ana or whitening Santa Ana, retainers Santa Ana, best dentist, best emergency dentist, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And just going through all the keywords, but making sure they're very, very specific to the location that you service. And then additionally, depending on how big that location is that you service, for example, let's say you're a dentist in London and you know people are going to travel from each suburb to come to you, then you can target not just London as a regional level, but also the suburbs and the towns underneath that.
Yeah, you see that quite a lot in the UK. You don't see it as much in the US, but we can go through that as well. So for example, on the dentalorangecounty.com, the blog section, what they've done is like how to clean plastic retainers. They've kept it very dental, or sorry, within the actual dental topic. So their blogs is literally just talking about how long to wear a retainer. So some of these, they're not going to be money earning articles, but they're going to be traffic generating articles, which might end up leading to converted actual clients for your dental clinic. So just bear that in mind when you are looking to scale out the actual blog section. You should be looking to just try and replicate this. This is an okay SEO strategy that I would do. And then let's see if we can find one very quickly in London as well. Dentists in London, let's say. I'm hoping we can actually find a clinic that's just mapping out the entirety of London, because you do see it quite a lot. I don't think Basically, what you want to be doing is just mapping out as many different districts that you do cover. So what I like to do for something like that is I like to zoom out on the map, and let's say, for example, if people are willing to, let's say, travel from, let's say, Watford, and we're in smack bang middle of London, I would create a dentists in Watford page, and that would end up driving a little bit more inquiries and clicks through to our website. So that was reason number 2 why Google might not like your website. Obviously, you might be lacking topical authority. What's reason number 3? What's your thoughts?
I think if you look at the purges that Google tends to have, for example, like March the 5th, or going back further than that, helpful content update, and you look at a lot of the sites that got hit, for example, I don't know, even House Fresh or Retro Dodo, or all the small affiliates that got hit as well. It feels like affiliates are feeling the most pain over the last sort of 6 to 12 months. It's typically content sites that are getting hit. Whereas, for example, you were pulling up a dentist a minute ago. It's an actual proper business. Like, it's not a business around content. Content isn't the business. The service at the end of it is a business. And I feel like if you're just a generic content site, and it's very obvious to Google in terms of how they crawl it, or even manually when they check it, that's when you get purged. That's when you take a hit eventually. And
Yeah.
most of the sites I've seen take a hit, it's not been like e-commerce, it's not been SaaS, it's not been agencies, and it's not been services. It's been affiliates and content sites.
Yeah. I've spoke about this in detail multiple times. I've had a lot of hate on this as well. But
Sorry about that, mate.
that's fine. But how I see affiliate websites, and again, some of you guys might be business owners, so you might not even know what an affiliate website looks like or what it is, but an affiliate website is kind of just, it's there to rank, and all you're doing is you are sending clicks and you're sending traffic through to, let's say, Amazon. So you might actually end up ranking for, let's say, I don't know, best iPhone cases. And instead of you actually providing that product on your website, all you're doing is you're sending the clicks to elsewhere, like Amazon or Walmart or Asda, or wherever the case may be. I just don't think there's any like there's just nothing there. Like, you don't own the traffic. At the end of the day, Google can hate your website or they can love your website, and you can either go up or you can either go down. A lot of affiliate websites, they don't create a mailing list. They don't have a social media presence. They don't actually create videos. Like, at the end of the day, this video that we're doing right now, this is building a brand. This is building a business. So if you're not willing to go those steps, then I just don't think SEO's for you, if I'm being honest. A lot of the affiliate website owners and the content website owners, they're just looking for a quick win. Don't get me wrong, that's not to say that everybody in that space is looking for a quick win, because I can guarantee there's a lot of good content websites that, for example, they might have a travel blog website, and they might be earning from Google AdSense, and they might have actually went out their way to actually write the content themselves. They might have even took the photos and videos themselves and stuff like that. Websites like that are getting rewarded, but the guys that are just going and they're just replicating the top 5 competitors that are ranking there, and they're just spitting out as much content as they possibly can, they're the ones that are essentially getting penalised by Google.
Yeah, like the amount of traffic as well you need to make good money is so much higher versus, like, if you're a dentist, you just get a couple of clients, rank a few pages, you get a few leads from that, and it's already paid for itself. The ROI is far higher.
Exactly that. And then reason number 4 why people, or why Google might not like your website, and it's kind of the opposite of what I said before, and that's topical dilution. So, for example, Google just doesn't understand what your website is about, and it's just a little bit confused. So, for example, you might have started off by talking about dentistry, but now you might be talking about, I'm going to use a completely polar opposite example here. So you've started off with dentistry first, and now you are talking about flights to Cancun in Mexico, right? Now, in some cases, people might not actually be that far abroad, but they might be talking about things that just aren't fully to do with with dentists. So they might be talking about that. Let's say, for example, how much does a toothpaste, or how much does toothpaste cost, right? Something like that. It's probably not going to help your dentistry website, even though it's dentistry related. Google just doesn't know, well, do these guys sell toothpaste now, or are they a dental clinic? So that's just one thing to bear in mind when you are looking to scale out more pages to attract more clients through to your dentistry clinic, or let's say even your law firm. You just don't want to scale past your topical borders. So one thing I would recommend with that is go and watch a couple of my videos on topical authority, how to do it right, how to find pages that are working for your competitors, and obviously reverse engineer those first and get those ranking first, and then you can obviously expand on your topical authority, because 9 times out of 10 your competitors will have a handful of pages that you can essentially replicate and add on to your website. And then once those pages are ranking, then you can start to worry about expanding on, let's say you want to build another 20 or 30 articles onto your website. So yeah, first of all, definitely reverse engineer your competitors, and then go into looking to expanding throughout various different topics. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then the fifth one that I think we could probably both agree on is technical SEO. You can have the best SEO strategist, or you can have the best SEO campaign, you could have the best backlinks, you could have the best content writers, but if you have got technical SEO issues, the core fundamental issues on your website, you're going to fall into some issues. Let's say, for example, you're not building any internal links on your website. Let's say, for example, you are uploading images that are just massive in size, and you're not optimizing the images, you're not compressing the images down. You're going to fall into some issues there.
Yeah, I think I heard something as well, like is it after June or July 2024, if your site is not optimized for mobile, then it gets de-indexed, I think, something like that. Google have come out and said. I'd have to look up the facts right now, but
Right.
yeah, something crazy like that. And it's like, yeah, if you haven't got the technical basics sorted out, mate, or you accidentally plug in a no index tag into your site, which is easily done, then these sort of things can trip you up easily. I'm gonna just double Google check that one actually.
Yeah. So just while Julian is actually Googling that, a good starting point for something like this is, if you are an advanced SEO, I highly recommend getting Screaming Frog. Run that, let's say, every 90 days on your website, and just make certain that everything's technically built correctly. If you aren't as advanced, because don't get me wrong, Screaming Frog is not a user-friendly tool. Let's say it's not got the best UI, but you can also use Sitebulb as well, which is another alternative, and that's got more of a user-friendly UI to use.
Yeah, so basically Google have said, starting July the 5th, 2024, websites that are not accessible on mobile devices will no longer be indexed or ranked. Pretty crazy.
That's very interesting. I wonder what they mean by accessible, though. Does that mean just having a no index tag on your website? Because if that was the case, it would never have indexed, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to assume by reading that headline that if you can't actually view it, or it's not properly optimized for mobile, then it gets de-indexed. But I guess that's the start of something, right? Like, if it happens July the 5th, let's say you come to December 2024 and you can't really look at that site, or it's not properly optimized or readable on a mobile, it's going to get harder and harder to index your site, right?
Yeah, definitely. And then there's the reason why they are probably doing that is, again, I don't know the exact number, but when I first started out in SEO, which seems like 4 years ago, but it actually wasn't. I want to say it's probably about 7 years ago now. Is they at the time when I was starting off, 65% of all searches on Google were done on mobile. Now, I think that that's probably massively changed now, 7 years on or 6 years on from that. I think it's probably maybe even closer to 80%. If again, I've not got the exact numbers, but just bear that in mind, because there are a lot of website developers that still code desktop first. So if you are looking to build a website, what I would recommend is getting the developer to worry about mobile first and then desktop, because there's going to be a lot of searches. Unless, like, for example, the one caveat to that is I know that this was an ongoing joke. I don't know if you saw it, but people like to book, for example, flights on their computer. Like, I don't know many people that book their flights on their phone. So unless you're in one of those weird industries where it is just desktop searches more than mobile searches, but I can guarantee a lot of industries it will be mobile first. So
Yeah, I can imagine, like, for example, younger generations as well. You know, that sort of TikTok generation. They're just using their phone. They're not even thinking about desktop unless they have to work for a few hours on it.
yeah, definitely. It's scary how times have changed, but that is 5 reasons why you might not be ranking high enough on Google, or why Google might hate your website. Thanks so much for joining me, Julian.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And if anybody does want a consultation call with myself, make sure to check the link down below. And thanks for watching. Peace.